Alright, we're going to walk through debugging my code line by line. So first thing, I'm creating a scanner just for user input for fun later. I didn't really have to do that. So I'm creating an object from the main method called HashTable, size of 3. So we can have an array table, an integer size, and an integer count. This dot size equals size, table equals new hash entry, the size, and count equals 0. So we're going to do the insertion method. I'm inserting apple, key of apple, value of red. And I have a string key and a string value. If count equals size, so we're checking if the number of items in the array is equal to the size of the array. If it is, we're going to call the resize method. So now we're going to hash the key and find the index. So ASCII sum is 0. This is the one we did in class. So I'm just going to walk through each character in the key. So key.length and ASCII sum plus equals integer key character at of I, and is converting the character to an integer. Alright, first is 65, 177, 289, 397, 498. I think that's it. ASCII sum modulo size. I'm pretty sure the size was 3, yeah. So index equals 0. While table index is occupied, it's not. So we're going to go down to table at our index, which is 0, which is new hash entry, key and the value, which is apple and red. This dot apple equals apple. This dot red equals red. Count plus plus because we added one item to the list. We're going to insert apple yellow now. And now we're going to find the hash function to find the key, ASCII sum modulo size, after we added all the characters, the integer values of the characters. While table at index is occupied, it is, so we're going to do index plus 1 modulo size to go to the next item. And we're doing the modulo size because it's not just index plus 1. It is not occupied now, so we're going to insert this. Yeah. 2 items in there now. Insert banana yellow. So after this one, we're going to resize. So hash function key. Yeah, ASCII sum modulo size. Table is not null. Plus 1 plus. Okay. New hash entry key value. Count plus plus. Now we have 3. Okay, so we're going to resize now. Count equals size. It does. So we're going to go to the resize method. Resizing the table. New size equals size times 2. I'm creating the new size times 2 is the size times 2 because I'm doubling the size of the table. Okay, new table is a new hash entry, new size. Hash entry old table, I'm setting it equal to the tables. I want to keep those records to move them into new table. Size equals new size. Yep. And then table equals new table. I'm just moving all the information over, resetting the count to 0 for each hash entry in the old table. If the entry is occupied, insert key. I lost myself there. Okay, we resized the table. It's not. So now we're going to pull the hash function for apple red. While table is. We added another item to the list. So we are inserting. Okay. How many of these do we have to insert? we need to keep walking through this. Okay, so string lookup equals hash table lookup. I'm going to look up apple and set it to lookup so I can display it down here. So let's walk through the lookup. And I sent in the key for int I equals 0. I is the size. I'm going to loop through all the elements in the array basically. So if the table at index of I is occupied and the table equals the key, and I did ignore case in case I just changed it to user input. I didn't want to mess with capital letters and all that. And I'm just going to return this string. You search for the key, or return this line. Table at index I dot key, because if we found it, we're going to walk through it. If we found it, return this line. Alright. Key is lookup, which we set to the method we just walked through, and it returned key is, let's go to console and see. You searched for the key apple. The value for the key is red. I guess I shouldn't have really had key right there. That doesn't look good. I should have just displayed lookup. Okay. Would you like to enter a value for the table? Okay. String enter value equals scanner next line, and I need to do that. How about let's put L. See if my while try catch block works. It does not equal Y. Input invalid. Please enter Y or N. Yes. Okay. Yeah, let's enter one. Next line. Yep. Enter data for a key. How about who? Enter. Enter value for the key of poo. Poo poo. And I'm going to create user value or key value of poo and poo. And I insert it. We're checking the size. And I'm back to the top of the while block. And I'm not going to do any more. So we just break. Else string n break. Oh, invalid input. Okay, yeah, so you do have to put an N. I didn't have to do all that. I could have just had Y, repeats, or any other letter breaks. Hash table. So now we're going to display, and that's just a for loop. It stops when it's less than the size. Less than, because the index starts at 0. If it started at 1, we'd have less than or equal to. Okay, so while we're walking through it, if table at index is occupied, we're going to print out index where the index is. Key equals table at index I dot key. Value equals table index I dot value. We're just printing out key values for every one of them. Alright, that's what we have after we've inserted all this. Now we are going to do tests. And oh my god, I can't tell you how many hours I spent trying to find the correct dependencies, downloading libraries and setting them in my module settings. Libraries. I don't remember how I did all that. It was through that and the project structure. I can't remember, but God, I spent so long trying to get Jupyter, JUnit Jupyter to work. I couldn't. That's the only way to get I think it's AE to work. It's for the assertion. RE to work for the assertions. Yeah, I tried making a test class. It turned up in the out directory, but I think that's just output. It's read only. Trying to get them correct. I was encountering version mismatches in the libraries I downloaded. The tests in the main test class wouldn't work. I understand how to write the test classes. I just need help configuring the dependencies. I need to, and I didn't have time to rebuild this in Maven so I could access the POM XML file. I think if I could do that, then I could copy paste them from their resources online. So, okay. Running tests to initialize array, insert collision handling, resizing, and lookup after resizing. So, validate array. I'm just creating the array. Size 5. Yep. We're back here at the top in the constructor. Okay. Assert HashTable.count equals 0 because there's no items in there. If that's not true, the initial count should be 0. That's how assertions should work, but they just didn't because assert doesn't work without that. I think it's AE, something about AE, and has to do with Jupyter and JUnit. Okay, and if that worked, it would say initial array set up correctly. I'm going to insert and collision handling. Apple red. I'm going to insert banana yellow. Insert cherry red. Insert apple yellow. This is causing a collision. Insert banana green. Okay, assert hashtable lookup apple equals you search for key apple. Okay. Value is red. Yeah, and if that wasn't true, then it should say the value should be red. That's using an assertion. It's not going to work right now because I don't have the dependencies configured correctly. I would really like to walk through that in class if we could, maybe somehow. I'm not sure if, well, never mind. That's more of a Java-specific topic to ask in the computer center. Okay, so two pass collision handling is correct. Resizing. So we've inserted 5. It's 5 long. It should resize the array after we insert Eli Clemens. Bang! Resizing the table. Yep. We talked through that. Insert dandelion poison ivy relief. Assert hash table size is greater than 5. If it wasn't, the size should be larger than 5. That's what would display. Passed. Look up after resizing. Now we're going to look up cherry. And it should have the value. You search for key cherry, the value for that key is red. If it didn't display that as the string from lookup cherry, then the value should be red would appear. We're going to do the same thing for Eli. The key is Clemens. If not, you would get the value should be Clemens. Test 4 passed resizing. Okay, all tests passed. You see that? We did good. And yeah, that's the end of my program. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.